So you could see that you can say it for yourself if this election was actually credible. So no wonder the Punch is saying that there is INEC and PDP disagreed over the alleged fraud in Ondo election, and some of the fraud is what you just watched now, where people were saying to be selling and then buying their vote so that a certain candidate will win. So that will take us to our guest, comrade. What will you say with regards to the recent election that has taken place in Ondo? It appears that in Nigeria, every last election is always the worst election, as if there is no improvement at all. So, what would you say on some of these things?
Yeah, um, candidates are already telling you that INEC keeps breaking record because maybe it seems they are not tired of setting new records. So once there is a new election, they set a new record for criminality, open a new chapter for criminality. Because if you watch what happened in Edo's election, and INEC went ahead to announce that result and say it's credible, and they are partnering with the APC to say, and fighting PDP and other parties who are alleging there is. Then you see there is, like you just said, it's like INEC is part of the winning party. They are not short of the winning party, whatever party you call it. It's like INEC is becoming an offshoot of the winning party, and that is not telling. It's not telling good on Nigerians. It's not a good one for Nigerians. We are actually fighting to make sure we have a better country. We're actually trying to make sure that we have a better system. But it seems that INEC is the one that wants to destroy the system. If you look at, I'm beginning to look in depth. The I in INEC. What is it for? Is it independent? If you talk about independence and you truly analyze this word independence, I think it has to do with location it has to do with location and it has to be re-evaluated so that we know if that independence should be attached to that INEC. As far as I'm concerned, I can only see NEC. If we want to have a truly independent electoral body, then the body should be truly independent.
Well, it's going to be a little bit difficult if it is the ruling party that always appoint the INEC chairman. Then it is faulty. What do I mean? It is always the president at the pleasure of the president. So the president hire and fire INEC chairman. So each time the INEC chairman is there, you could see, INEC dancing to the tune of one other party. So I think something should be done with regards to how INEC chairman will emerge if we must have credible election. In fact, in the United States, the elections are handled from the states. The state handle these elections. They only send in results to the. So you don't have any central body to say these are the ones that is going to conduct the election. Anyway, I don't know what is your take on this.
All right, a whole lot to look at, and although I would be asking our guest for his reactions on several angles here. First is when you look at the point where this election result was about to be announced, there is something that was very much significant today. You will discover that roughly almost 8, if not close to 10, sitting governors of the APC extraction was there. And I begin to wonder, an election whose results have not been announced, you've gathered all of your friends, especially those of the APC extraction, in a collation center where ordinarily ought to have just party agents present, but you have every stakeholders when it comes to APC, especially the national, what is it called now? The national chairman of the party, and the likes of roughly 8 to 7 governors present, I begin to ask.
That would serve as an intimidation.
Not just intimidation, would any other result be allowed to be announced in that kind of instance and presence? Outside intimidation, if these governors are there, me watching is a clear indication that victory have been announced already without the victory actually being, the result actually being announced. So how did we get here? We have several states faced with a whole lot of issues. You left your state as a chief security officer of your state only to come and be a collation agent in a collation center waiting for a result to be announced in another state. So, comrade, how does this show us? What does this prove to people on our leaders? Where does this leave us?
That was why I said before that there is no true independence with INEC.
Okay.
Because if truly we have true independence, then there is nothing a governor from another state, even the sitting governor of that state, has no right to enter inside the coalition.
Exactly.
Center. But because there is no true independence, you will see these things happen. They will continue to happen. Ganduje has told you, we have captured here. This is where next we are going to capture. And they keep capturing. When they conduct their whatever they call election, they tell you to go to the same failed court system. So they know what they are doing. It is just that Nigerians, to me, I feel we are so docile, or we feel we have done what we need to do, and everybody has gone back so that everybody is tired, and let them continue doing whenever they are done, they should tell us. But this is not going to help. You can't have a system that is dilapidating, just like you have a structure, a house, for instance, and you leave the roof open. Rain continues to drop on it. It will one day totally collapse. So it is our system. It is the system is ours. So we need to all collectively, insist that something right is done. If we don't stampede this present INEC, this present system of government, if we don't actually speak up, we all go. One day it will collapse. Both the people who are benefiting and the people who are being robbed, all of us will be casualties.
All right, we hear you loud and clear, but just to add up to what you asked, we just watched a clear-cut video of incidences of vote buying, and this was amidst gunshots and a whole lot. But yet, the incumbent governor, who is also a running candidate there, is coming to debunk all of those claims that nothing of that happened, despite the fact that there are glaring evidence of vote buying. Let me now ask you that, what would you say of the Ondo election? Would it be adjudged to be free and fair?
How will you adjudge something that is very clear, even to the blind, that it is not free and fair? You saw instances of vote buying, in the open air, gunshots in the open air, not as if they are hidden. It's just that when you see the sitting governor is saying nothing happened, there's no way you expect him to say something happened. He's a beneficiary of those happenings. I can't be sure, but he may have also sponsored.
So is it that we don't have conscience now in our country, that you will see clear fraud and then they will come to debunk, to say that nothing like that happened? Now, so we are told that APC agents caught on camera sharing 3,000 to buy vote for Governor Ayedatiwa. And then the other trending story says security agencies under scrutiny. Police accused of complicit in vote buying while DSS make arrest. And then you will hear that nothing of such happened. And so this is what we have here. So police are also complicit. They are part of it, security agents. So what will you say to all these things that we are saying?
You see, that is when you are talking about a failed system. These are one of the things you see. You cannot have a system that is working and allow people to walk with their conscience. It's not done anywhere. Even when Jesus was alive, there were laws. Those laws are set to, mitigate the excesses of man. And if you allow man who is always naturally inclined to steal, is naturally inclined to do wrong, because those wrongs are shorter. They are shorter cuts. But when there are laws, you already know, and the laws are actually effective, then somebody who knows, if I run a shortcut, I will also face the law. Then that is what brings people back and cuts them from this excess. It is just simply that they know, even if they commit these crimes, that nothing is going to happen. So that is why you see they commit those crimes until you go to court. Courts, they know that it's not going to give you any justice.
Yeah, so actually, whenever you hear go to court, and in fact, I think that it is the president. So this is a breaking news. You say go to court if you are not satisfied with Ondo governorship election result. Tinubu tells PDP. So this is coming from president himself to say go to court. That is the word you hear all the time. Go to court. So when when they are telling you go to court, what do they mean? Do they actually mean that when you get to court, you will actually get justice? Is court still the hope of a common man?
Yes, I can tell you, court is still the hope of common man, but not in Nigeria. Not in Nigeria. You can talk of court being in the hope of common man in other climes, but when you come to Nigeria, it has a different definition. Just like I said before, these things will have to be reviewed so that you don't arrogate some meanings to what they are not. The white people who made some of these Englishes should visit some locations and flashpoints and actually make a review of those Englishes so that it will actually rhyme with other climes. So here in Nigeria, what did Tinubu tell you at the end of his own election time? He told you, go to court if you're not confident with the outcome. When he himself was saying that everybody was crying, you have a chunk of people who voted for him, where you have a greater majority who voted for the other person. And they are telling you confidently to go to court. You already know that there is nothing ahead for you in court. That is what he is also telling. That is what they are telling you here. It's like when you are fighting with a brother or even an enemy, but he's telling you, don't worry, if you are not confident, go to police. You already know that there is no way, and somehow maybe his brother is the police officer there or the person in charge of the system there. So once you hear go to, then you should start running.
Okay, we hear you loud and clear, but this before President Tinubu came to power as the President Commander-in-Chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces, he went to court and he was able to secure victory through the law. Could this not be attributed to how he secured his victory? Looking at it from the point of, okay, I went to court and I was able to secure victory, and then he is now as a commander-in-chief for the purpose of peace and civility. You are telling others who may have lost an election to also go to court. Do you see it from that angle?
Obviously, I don't see it from that same angle.
Okay.
The reason is very simple. The justice he may have got then may be different from the one he is sending people to go and get.
Is there a different justice
There
in the court?
There is.
Okay.
There is.
Maybe you have to throw more light.
Yes, I have to. I
Alright.
can. Do you remember one, what is his name? Is it Brukachiwa? The wife was...
Brukachiwa, yeah.
Yes. He told you that some of the justices people got were influenced by him in the comfort of his bedroom. So,
Yeah. That
so
was a serving senator.
Yes. Those kind of justice also have a different interpretation, because you might be looking at it from the angle of clear justice, but they are not. They were influenced. Once justice influence is injustice. You understand?
Okay.
So this is the angle where I'm coming from. So you may consider this type of justice and the other type as the one he is sending to people, and you are not even sure how the one he got was also secured. This is Nigeria for you, where everything goes.
All right. Comrade, you have been able to prove that there are different kind of justice. But one thing that is not settling well with me, this statement is coming from our president. And you and I know that come 2027, he may likely be a contesting candidate for an election. So where does this leave us in 2027 election?
If we don't everything has planning.
Okay.
If we don't plan for 2027 from this 2024, then we are bound to fail in 2027. You cannot just come out from nowhere and say you want to do what you've been doing before that has been failing you, and you expect a different result. It doesn't work. We have so many times outlined some of the things that we need to do so that the system will become transparent for everybody to contest. Okay. If these things are not actually put in place, then you are definitely going to get the same failed result that you've been getting before in the past. It doesn't need rocket science. The challenges are not esoteric. They are human inflicted.
All right, thank you. Actually, sir, I get so scared with comments like this, and it wants to bring up this question of, is our democracy under threat?
Sincerely, one will say that are we actually
in a democracy?
In a democracy? Because what actually makes democracy is if people are able to vote for the candidate of their choice. All right, the government of the people, for the people, and by the people. So if the people are able to choose their own candidate by themselves and the candidate emerge, you can confidently say it's a democracy. But where there is a selection, election is different from selection. So from day one, you're going to see that somebody has been selected. Whether you like it or not, this person is going to emerge the winner of the election. Either the vote is bought or, of course, like if we can refer to Edo election, we saw how Yagi Africa come up to say that there was a forensic audit of some of the what do they call now, result sheets, and you could see that an official of government was the one that filled all the all the result sheets, the same handwriting. You understand? An INEC official, it was everywhere broadcasted. So this is not something that belongs to this TV station alone. We saw it in other sister stations where it was clearly said, Arise and what a few, that look, it was the same person that wrote some of the results. And of course, we are where we are today. And sincerely, something needs to be done. If we don't work on electoral fraud, and also perhaps making sure that anybody that is caught doing some of these things, that the offenders are punished, then nothing is going to happen. Because most of the times they end up shielding those who are involved in perpetrating this thing. It's like IREF has gone to sleep. IREF no day again, no. So all the resources spent on IREF so that you use to accredit, we saw how the number of accredited voters is not close to the number of the vote that was done in a certain ward in a election. So these things are happening. Nigerians must wake up. Viewers, we encourage you to call in, and particularly people from on the state who witness some of the things that happen. You can call in and then give us a report of all that transpired. Now, there is a statement made by the INEC chairman, which I want to take you on that. And he says the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress APC, Abdullahi Ganduje, has declared that the party is intensifying its effort to expand its influence across Southwest, with a particular focus on Osun and Oyo states. This statement came shortly after the INEC announced APC victory in Ondo State governorship election. And the correct thing he says is that we have captured Edo, we have captured Ondo, and then remaining these two where they are having PDP ruling Osun and then Oyo State. They want to capture it. What are they capturing?
You see, when you hear of this capture, you already know what they want to do. It's no longer by choice of the people. When you are being captured, you are being held against your will. So he may have chosen that choice of word reluctantly, but he has shot himself on the leg and as well exposed the APC. You can't be telling Nigerians that you want to capture and you think we are relaxed or we're the only thing is just.
But it appears Nigerians are relaxed.
We are.
Is Nigeria entirely not captured already?
Nigeria is being captured somehow, but do you think it's going down well with Nigerians? It is not. Nigerians, the only thing is just that if you beat a child now, definitely because maybe he cannot do you anything, he will start, I will tell my mommy, He is protesting, but because he has no revenge does not mean he's not happy. You understand? So that is what is happening with Nigerians. But remember that there is a child you will beat. He will say, okay, do not worry. This thing he may keep it for you 1 year, 2 years, 3 years until he grows up. Maybe if he cannot meet you, beat up your child one day. It's a ripple of what happened sometime in the past. So people are actually trying to see whether there's any way they can vent off. But there is this suppression. People are being muzzled down. People are being muzzled down. Freedom of speech, freedom of expression, press freedom. All these freedoms are being caught somehow. But I think it will get to the neck of Nigerians one day.
All right.
Now, I think that there is a comment by someone on the just governorship election. So we have this comment from Mr. Eze. And I want to take that. INEC and PDP expressing their displeasure over the Ondo election is just a mere child's play because Nigerian elections always end in court. So they should go to court, but nothing will come out from there. Vote buying can never stop in Nigeria. Even the just concluded US election, Elon Musk called his own voters $1 million giveaway. So some of us are not surprised. So 1 million giveaway of Elon Musk during the US election. For me, I think it's different from when you are typically during the election day going to induce to buy. Okay, certain things are allowed before the election. During the electioneering campaign, parties are allowed to do their own politics in such a way that it will endear the voters to them, for the voters to vote for them. But immediately the electioneering campaign is over, then everything must stop. So there is no record to say that there was a particular person that was giving money for him to go and vote for certain candidate in US election. We must get that clear. They have since gone past that era. But in Nigeria, I think part of the problems we have is when people are hungry and then they are seeing 3,000, 5,000, they will rush to collect it for the moment, because even if they don't collect it, it will still go the way it's going. Not that I'm encouraging it, but I guess these are the reasons why some of these things are the way they are. And so it's quite unfortunate. So that's the comment from this viewer. So he say they should go to court, but he's not sure that if the court will be able to give them anything. Then another one says the word capture here is reality of the dirty game behind the results. Ganduje should work well to capture Kano for APC. So that is that capture. Capture is the thing. I think we will move on